Me and my team, along with Sam Watson and his team, we're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I come this way before, travel through the open door, circumstances navigated the path, and life happened all so fast. No, it got lonely sometimes, you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know life took a hold on. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. No. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games we play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. This fight for millions, take a second, see the blessing in it. From much expected, much is given. When I made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness, yes. You can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it to life. Oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm A6. Learn and develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing in competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition, I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. While cancer slowing our road, I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah.
Give back, give love, give inside away. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Can't take it personal, cause the devil is a lie.
I'm telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. What's up, West Virginia? Hey, what up, Eric Gomes? President, y'all for it. KJ. What's up, Super Bros? Black Attack. What up, Damon? And GP, Picasso, Kevin Brower, TZ. Let me call the guest is calling 1 second. Hey, y'all know what time. Y'all know it's trailer time. Trailer time. And don't forget, I got to get Kyle's, and we can do that mid-show. Yeah, let's run this back 1 time. And
what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them myself. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
At least 15, y'all. At least 15, y'all. And welcome to the show, man. I appreciate y'all coming in here, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, man. A lot to talk about. I know y'all got the game on mute. What's up, Unique Don? I appreciate y'all coming in here, man. Getting acclimated to the new time. You know what I mean? We'll start filling on in, man. I want to say thank you guys for adjusting with me. And it means a lot. Genuinely means a lot. But Don will be here any second. She just called me. But in the meantime, between time, I want to talk about that Tim Smith comments that he PBC flags me. So they flagged me on Instagram. So I'm not going to take a chance on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take a chance. I'm not going to do it, man. But they made some comments and it was, I just saw it on someone's Instagram. It was like a thing, but Cheryl Lynn Haymon. Appreciate you. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Yeah, she'll be here any minute. And by any means, are you related to Al Haymon? But he basically did some damaging things, and I thought in my opinion, I think that it's damning to Earl Spence as well. Because now we're at a stage, we're not at a stage anymore where it's like, is the fight gonna happen? I don't think we're at that stage anymore. It's like we're at a stage where the fight has to be made, and the fight needs right now, it needs more press. It needs more shall we say, more positive energy moving towards that fight, because Earl has nowhere to go after this. Terrence Crawford has nowhere to go. No one is going to watch. Once Earl Spence, how we say it, if Earl Spence beats Ugas, there's no place for Earl Spence to go. There's no place for Terrence Crawford to go. The fans might accept Terrence Crawford in a middle fight. They might accept it because Earl Spence had a fight and maybe Terrence Crawford may want to fight. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think that it's no way, no how will the fans accept it. I don't think so. I don't think the fans will accept it. And I'm telling the fans, and matter of fact, I'm telling Terrence Crawford and I'm telling Earl Spence, don't accept anything else, because you've been sparring and running all these miles and not eating on Christmas and Thanksgiving for this fight. This is your 8-figure fight, and the fans are going to support it. The fans are genuinely going to support this fight, and I think they need to start building each other up. You know, I genuinely believe. Let me know when you're ready, D. You ready, D? And just give me a thumbs up. And oh, you ready? Okay, let's rock. Oh, without further ado, Don Strozier. Hey, Don, how you doing?
I am doing great, my friend. How are you?
Oh, beautiful, 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 and that beautiful home behind you.
On the planet. I had to say that.
The what? The what?
One of the best motivators on the planet. That's you.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's been a long time since I've seen you. I haven't seen you in a month of days.
A few hours ago, right?
Yeah. Totally appreciate you coming in the shop. And you have a book you want to promote. Hey, and one of my supporters already tried to purchase your book, but he said it's out of stock on Amazon.
Okay, well, they can order it directly from me. I'll give them information. They can get it.
Okay, so
I'll send it out.
Okay, so you would want them to hit you on your Instagram?
Yes, they can.
Okay, and it's simply Don Strozier.
Yes.
At Don Strozier. So yes. I honestly don't know your backstory. How did you get to LA, by the way?
Oh, you want to know that story?
Yeah.
I like to say it was God ordained. Do you know how when you're in the process of something, you can't really understand what's happening in your life? Especially when God is moving. Sometimes God uses circumstances.
Right.
He uses challenges. That's what James 1 talks about, to build character. And most importantly, to push us to where he wants us to be. So I have to say, I was actually not running, but I had some challenges, family challenges I was facing in Cleveland, Ohio, that I wanted to get away from. Wasn't bad, but in my mind, they were things that I just, at the time, couldn't deal with. I was going through some challenges with my family. I can remember since 12th grade. I remember my 12th grade year. Just to give an example, I was fighting some things. I was actually caught in the middle of a divorce. That's what it was. It was a divorce my mother and father were going through, and it kind of put my sister, my brother, myself in probably, I would say, a bad situation amongst each other. So I needed to remove myself from the scenario so my family can heal. That's what I felt. To give an example, my 12th grade year, I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to homecoming. I did not walk across the stage. I graduated. I just wanted to get out of school. I remember going to the principal's office, and I said to him that if he would meet me at my homeroom every day, I'd be here. So the principal thought enough of me, and I just thank God for him, that every single day he met me my 12th grade year at my homeroom. When I knew that someone, kind of like having a journal, it held me accountable, and I knew someone was waiting for me, was excited about seeing me at school. I showed up. I didn't care about anything. I wanted to get out. And I graduated. I went to choreography school. That's why I talk so doggone fast. I actually type 225 words a minute. So
wow,
it's kind of who I am. And I left Cleveland, Ohio, and I came to Los Angeles, California. And when I first moved here, I lived on the street for a moment. I said, home, my homeless, home, my homeless. I chose homeless. And God did his thing. And it's been a blessing. It was a blessing for me. It was a blessing for my family. I didn't call home for a while. I was, I think, 19 or 20. I think I turned 20 here.
Right.
And I was just determined for something bigger. I just felt like God had something bigger he wanted to do in my life. There were some things he wanted to show me, and I couldn't do it there. When I got to California and I saw everything this place had to offer, all the opportunity, all the amazing people I was meeting, I felt like God wanted to get me here, and this is where I stayed. I called home maybe I don't know how long after, but I'll tell you, the moment I called, my mother and father heard my voice, and my sister and my brother, they've been my biggest supporters and my best friend ever since. So I say that this was a God-ordained move. That's how I got here.
Wow. And when did you pick up fitness? Or what or what were the jobs or that led to fitness?
Interesting enough, I just accidentally got here. So I'm a dancer. I do ballet, jazz, mind, jazz, tap.
Yeah.
When I moved to California, I have to tell you this first. I moved to California, and first time away from home, and didn't go to college route. Went to a trade school at home. First time away from home, and I was fighting to just make ends meet. So I remember I was living on the street, and I literally need to find a job. I went through some challenges. I was wearing the same kind of clothes every day. I remember walking into Robinson's May at the time. I asked for the manager, and I told the manager, I said, are you guys? I asked for the manager's office. They led me upstairs, and I said, I knocked on the door, and I said, it's a shame you guys aren't hiring me. You're about to miss out on your best employee ever. And he was like, who's that? And I said, me. He hired me right on the spot. And as I was leaving, I told him, I said, listen, I may be in these same clothes tomorrow, but all I need is a check. And not only will I be your best employee, I'll be your best dressed. So that's kind of the attitude I've had since I've been here. How I got into fitness, living on the street, needed somewhere to wash up, joined the gym, right?
Wow.
Started washing up. And one of my stories is I love the way I felt going to the gym. And I said, it just did something for me. And I wanted to do that every day. And I also wanted to help other people feel the same way. So that's when I started speaking on health and wellness. And that's when I started training. That's kind of the short end of it. But yeah. And I love it. I've been doing it for over 25 years.
Wow, you have.
All that I've done. And it's been absolutely amazing.
Who was your first client? And by the way, this is not Unique Don. Unique Don is a part of the community. They're like, is this Unique Don? No. No, Unique Don is in Nebraska chilling with her feet up right now.
But
Do you remember your first client?
My first client gave me a try. I had one client when I left corporate America. She was somewhat overweight. I trained her for free. In 6 weeks, I got her some major results. And she shared me with all her friends, and it was history after that. She was a real estate agent.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And you've been rolling ever since.
Been rolling ever since.
Yeah.
What I'm ordained to do. Motivate and encourage people to get in the best shape of their life. Throughout that, I fell in love with it because I ended up with a heart issue. And what's crazy was I was at the top of my game of training. I ended up with a condition called mitral valve prolapse. It's when the leaflets in my heart wasn't closing properly and it caused blood to spill backwards. At the time, I was training the A-list actor. I was making a lot of money a month with one client, but I was passing out. And I remember going to the hospital, and the doctor said that if it progressed to mitral valve regurgitation, I would probably have to have valve replacement surgery. So he said, I don't want to give you any medicine because it's nothing that you were born with. It was created. So I need you to sit down and rethink the way that you eat. Now I'm a trainer at this point, and I was eating healthy, no fried food, no pork. I think I was doing I believe back then I was also just eating fish. But I do remember the difference was I wasn't eating, for me, organic. So all organic. I remember going home, throwing everything out of my refrigerator, and buying fresh vegetables, no pesticides. That is when I left chicken completely alone. That's right. I left chicken completely alone because of the hormones. And I remember 6 months to a year, they could no longer find it. So I fell in love with helping people realize something as simple as making a better diet choices can change your quality of life overnight. Because I would have had to have valve replacement surgery at 20-something years old. I think I was 28 at the time. True.
Yeah. And you actually had some high-end clients. How did you navigate into that realm? Because you said you had an A-list actor and actress. And
well, I'm a talker. I like to talk. I love to meet people. So I kind of talk my way into some things. I remember I say hi to everyone because I know my elevator speech. I believe that, you have to, Matthew 7 says, ask and it shall be given, seeking you shall find, knocking the door shall be opened unto you. So that's the process of my life. I talk to everyone because you don't know who you're talking to. So I talk to one person who introduced me to one person, who introduced me to Steve Harvey, introduced me to Kim Kimball, Erica Campbell, quite a few other people that I've trained. So just talking. You got to be a networker. You got to be your biggest advocate. If you want to make some money, it's all about your mouthpiece. Word of mouth travels fast, and you have to be telling everybody you come into 3 to 6 feet of what you do, because everybody knows somebody that can set you free.
Wow, no, that's absolutely true. And people are like, what are like some tips that you can get? Because obviously, many people have made like New Year's resolutions, right? Like, man, I got to do this, I got to do that. What are some tips that is in your book? As Fit to Win is right there. Is it right there? Yeah, Fit to Win.
Let me say, one of the reasons why I think New Year's resolutions don't last for most people is because they make big, grand resolutions. And I'm a firm believer in taking one new idea at a time. When I train clients, one new idea. First idea is no carbs after 6 o'clock, no pasta, no beans, no rice, potatoes, no bread, no fruit. To digest that is a whole lot. So if I simply focus on one new idea a week and then add on something else, after no carbs, and next week, if you're not a breakfast person, I need you having breakfast. Because in some cases, that's the first meal, whether it's 9 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock, your first meal gives your body all the nutrients it needs to operate at the optimal level of health the rest of the day. So I want to make sure what you're eating, your first meal, has all the nutrients your body needs to function properly. So that's week number 2. And then week number 3, another idea. By the end of the first month, you have a whole new way of eating. So you don't have to be in a hurry. Set measurable goals. Dennis Kimbrough said, what gets measured gets done. Set measurable goals and goals that you can build on. And take your time. Take your time. I'd rather have small success that I can celebrate than no success at all. So if I have a full week of not having carbs, and at the end of the week I can say, yeah, I did it. And then I suddenly have some carbs because it's my free day. It's a good day, right? So focus on taking your time. And then I want to encourage you to get a journal. I'm old school. I've tried a lot of the apps, but because they're not in my face, I didn't have a lot of success or the success that I wanted. But when I can use stickies, when I can use a book, when I can write things down, when I can look at it constantly, that allows me to win. My Fit to Win journal, one of the things I love about it is because there's 4 pages per day. One day there's 4 pages. It starts off with your motivational quote for the day. My book opens up with my "It's time to win" quote. But the next quote for the second day is the last quote Kobe Bryant did before he passed away. He says, sometimes winning means beating yourself. That's the second quote to start your next day. And then it goes into everything that you need for your nutrition to be successful. You even track your mood. You track everything, and then it gives you a nutritional tip. You track what you're grateful for when you wake up in the morning. You write out what you plan to eat, and then there's space for you to write down what you actually have. There's 3 or 4 things you want to focus on. You track your water. You track your mood again. And on the other side, here's your workout. And then you evaluate to the day. But what's really powerful is that when you get ready to go to bed at night, I prepare you for the next win. You want to prepare tomorrow for the next win. You want to write down your 3 wins for the day, what habits you need to change, what you're going to replace those habits with, and then there's a checklist to prepare you for tomorrow's win. And then you start the next day. So I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's everything in there that you need to actually win. See that? Look at that detail. Win. And then in the back, it also has a 30-day workout. All the exercises and demonstrations for you to do it. And then you can join me on my Facebook page as we do a workout one day together. But I think it's pretty powerful. But if you know the power of journaling, it's a great way to hold you accountable. In the beginning of the book, you can also post your before picture, your ideal picture, and what you actually want, the picture you want to, your end goal when you're done.
Right.
You can track your workouts. Here is, I want to lose weight, I need to lose weight, and I must lose weight. You figure these things out. Then you commit yourself to the process. You sign it a winner, and then you move forward. So I love it. I think it's amazing. My clients like it. It's 6 weeks, and it's a way for you to journal and keep track and build on each day. Everything's there for you to be successful.
What inspired you to write the book?
What inspired me to write this? I like journaling. Journaling changed my life. I journal my prayers. I journal, and then I come back and I write out how God answered my prayers. I write. I'm a writer. I journal everything. So, and I wanted to, as I train clients and I encourage them to write everything down. I even have them have a calendar. This is really powerful. Get a 30-day calendar so that you can see it. When you can see your success, you're more likely to get excited and do it for a longer period of time. So if you have a whole week, 7 days, and when you eat healthy and you're successful, you do from right to left, you do a green line. When you make it to the gym, you do from left to right, you do a blue line. So you have green for workout and blue for wellness, blue for eating, and you have an X. So when I can see a whole bunch of X's for a whole week complete, I'm excited. It motivates me. When I see I only have 2 more X's to finish out the week, it makes me get on top of things. Does that make sense? Because you have 2 ways to win the day. It's your workout and your diet.
Right.
When I come in, I look at my calendar and I go, I got to get to the gym because I want an X.
Right.
I run to the gym and do something. If I do burpees, I'm able to put another mark. So play whatever game you have to play with yourself to get yourself accountable. That's what's going to allow you to win the year. Win the day, win the month, win the year. Does that make sense?
Win the day, win the month, win the year.
Yeah.
We have a lot of truckers in here. What advice would you give truckers?
Try not to snack. Find healthy snacks. You can snack on cheese. That's a protein. If you eat dairy, if you don't have a challenge with dairy, Try not to snack on carbohydrates and pasta. I mean, like potato chips. For one, what do you call those? Potatoes are carcinogenic, so you don't want to overload potato chips. They're not good for you overall. So you got to find some healthy snacks to hit that roll with. More, I would snack on. I know it doesn't sound good, but you want to live long, you have to make some hard changes. Find some almonds. Find a few different nuts to snack on. But most importantly, if you have a nutritious breakfast that's full of fiber, it'll help you feel fuller longer. And all you have to do is retrain yourself not to eat so much at night, and you'll win. One of my closest friends is a trucker, and he was blowing up. And recently, we held him accountable to not eating late at night as he's driving. And if he had to eat, you could snack on some turkey strips, or wrap it up in some cheese. You can snack on something other than potato chips and candy. Because that's how you end up with diabetes. That's how you end up with hypertension. So if you want to live longer, change your snacks.
Change your snacks.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the problem with a lot of, in terms of the American diet is we snack to death, don't we?
Yes. 1 second, my battery's about to die. Just hold tight. I'm so sorry.
For sure. So, anyways, man. But yeah, we got Dawn Strozier, and she's probably one of the more popular fitness trainers in the community in which I live in, man. And she's helped a lot of people. Why this community, Dawn? Oh, wait. She'll be back in a second because she's everywhere. Dawn is everywhere. And why this area? Why didn't you go to Beverly Hills and get all that money? Why did you come to Baldwin Hills?
I train everyone. I'm all over the place.
I know you are.
In Beverly Hills. I'm in Inglewood. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm in the Valley. I have clients everywhere. I love people. So it doesn't really matter where you are. I want to help people.
Right.
Take better care of their health. I want them to live longer. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter where you live. If I can reach you by car, if I can reach you by, social, the internet, Zoom. I do Zoom calls as well. I have North Carolina, Atlanta, Detroit. I have clients everywhere. God's just been good.
Yeah. How has COVID helped or hurt training business?
Well, actually, that's why I wrote my 4 books. So this is the journey that I did first.
Wow.
I did a journal. I did my Over 50 and Fit ebook. So, ladies, if you're struggling, you can lose weight after 50. You can milk the fat. You can build lean muscle at any age. This is for you. When I turned 50, my body was like, what? I had to relearn my body all over again. It was a challenge, but I did it. So this is for anyone over 50. So I wrote that ebook. I wrote a book called Fit to Win, Creating a Lifestyle of Winning. It's about winning in every area of your life. I think that it takes discipline, it takes sacrifice, it takes really building your character to get in the best shape of your life. But those great things, the journey and the person you become in the process, those things roll over into other areas and make you absolutely phenomenal. So I talk about being spiritually fit, financially fit, mentally fit, emotionally fit, nutritionally fit, because you can't be skinny fat. You can be overweight and malnutrition, right? Physically fit. And then I talk about there's a winner in you. That's my Fit to Win, Creating a Lifestyle of Winning book. It's done. I'm going to actually roll it out maybe the beginning of February. And then I also wrote a ketose jump starter because I do believe in the ketose diet, especially as you get older. So I have all that. Those things were birthed out of the pandemic. So for some people, it was challenging. But if you're a real entrepreneur, it's all about reinventing yourself. It's all about figuring out what's next. We're in a $1 trillion industry. There's no reason to leave. It's just more so a reason for you to figure out what's next. So I created some products, and they're serving me, right?
Right.
So the pandemic for me was challenging in one regard. I had to reinvent myself quick. I got online with my team. I made myself available online. I train people through Zoom, or I send out my programs. There's a lot of ways to get paid. So it was a challenging, but there was some amazing things that came out of this pandemic.
Wow.
For a lot of trainers.
Right.
You believe in yourself and your product. It's just about you getting out there and figuring it out.
Right.
Because there's money to be made, pandemic or not.
Right. Now, is this the book that Les Brown wrote the foreword on?
He wrote the foreword on, yes, the new one that's coming out.
The new one that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And just so we can get the people jumping, any notable names that you've trained?
I've trained Steve Harvey. Okay, so listen. One of the things that you know about training, when you're training in the industry of when you're training actors, sometimes they get in shape for a role, and that's it. That's it. I go to get them in shape for a role, and then 2 or 3 weeks later after that, you don't necessarily still see them in the best shape of their life. They're living life. They're living life, and it's okay. So there are some. I sign clauses not to say names because you know. But I've trained a little bit of everybody.
Right.
I've had the pleasure of training a little bit of everyone.
Right. What would you say if people can take one thing away, like from training or an exercise? What exercise, 2 or 3 exercises, would be like a mandate for people?
Just your basic exercises that you grew up doing: jumping jacks, high knees, squat touch, push-ups, functional exercises. Things that it's just important for you to keep moving, because you can make any. If I couldn't get to the gym, I can take five simple exercises and make it a routine. Wow. I can raise the level of intensity. I can put a break in between it. I can do it for 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I can do it a minute on, a minute off. I can just add weight to it. Don't use weight. So just keep doing your basic push and pull exercises, push-ups, right? Our body was meant to push and pull and squat. So squats, push-ups, jumping jacks, high knees. It's pretty much all you need. Mountain climbers on the ground, you can add a few other ones too, but your basic jumping jacks, high knees, squats, and push-ups. That's your staple. And if I had to say, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but if I had to add one other exercise to that, we're saying exercises with no weights that you can do anywhere: burpees.
They're like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on burpees.
You have to, no impact, but it's a full body exercise. You're working with everything.
Right.
No impact or high impact burpees.
Have you had any physical challenges outside of your heart ailment?
No.
No,
that's not true. I actually slipped on wet paint, believe it or not, and I tore both of my meniscus.
Wow. And
I only had surgery on one, and my left one is the worst. But it just goes to show you, your body can heal itself if you know the proper things to feed it. So there was some. I started taking this product called HA Joint. And I had surgery on my right knee because I didn't know any better. I never had surgery on my left, which was the worst, and it has not bothered me. I take top of the line supplements. I pay $85 for some supplements, and because you pay for what you get. Right. Quality supplements you can't go to the grocery store and find. You have to order them online from a company that's like the leading sports nutrition company. Right. And in terms of paying for what you get, there's something that we can pay for. Fit the Win, right? Yeah. Fit the Win. And it's just go to her IG page, Don Strozier, and she will gladly get it out to you. And yeah, man, it's so you're an implant like me, but I came at 8 from New York to LA. Yes. Yeah. What tips would you give people who would consider moving to LA? Be ready. Have a plan. I think you need a plan in everything. Have a plan. If you don't plan to win, you plan to fail. My circumstances were different. I just dropped in. I literally dropped here, at a drop of a dime. I left and moved. I didn't know any better. But plan. Come with a plan. And when you get here, you got to have some faith and belief in what you've been called to do, because this city will send you home. I'm telling you, listen, if I had a choice, I probably would have went home a lot sooner, but I didn't. God took all the choices from me. I had to either have faith or not, and I stuck in there. I had to. And look what happened. But most people quit right when the blessing is coming. So if you have no other options, you'll make it here. But if you have a choice, to go back home, you'll go back. The cost of living is high. The people can be somewhat rude, and the competition is real.
Yeah.
So you have to know what you're doing. You got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what the gifts and talents God has given you, because if you don't, you're gonna get stuck.
Right. And you've mentioned God a lot in this interview.
Yeah.
So you're a God-fearing person. And how did you come to God? We actually had this conversation last night. How did you come to God and realizing that God is real?
Well, I believe, interesting enough, I grew up not in church. My parents took me to church on Sundays, but the parents had me go to church on holidays. But I just remember Pastor Stewart, he planted a seed. And then that seed took root when I moved to California. When I was in Cleveland, I think I might have been searching, because I studied different religions. I studied Amish American, I studied Muslim, I studied Jehovah's Witness, I studied Christianity, I studied different things. I wanted to know. I was searching for the truth of what I believed in my heart was the truth, and I never really got an answer. But when I got here, on the street, living in a vacant apartment building, couldn't call home, I figured out who God was. So I had to trust him or not. And literally, I remember getting up every morning, same clothes, sitting on the stump, trying to figure my life out. What I got myself into? Home or homeless, home or homeless. And I chose to stay, and then I watched God perform. So God has shown me to be real. I joined the church on the corner called True Vine Baptist Church. And from that moment, God planted and watered in my life the truth of his word. And here I am. Super excited about him and everything he has to offer.
Wow. Deacon will love that story. Deacon will love that story. Deacon comes in here and straightens me out every night on God. You know what I mean? Yeah. Are you a sports fan?
Yes, I love basketball. I love boxing. You know, I like boxing.
Yeah.
You can help with my boxing interviews.
I remember that.
So I grew up watching basketball. Love basketball, boxing, track and field. I was a gymnast, and I ran track. So yeah, I love sports.
Right. So why not New York?
I actually danced in New York City. So when I was growing up in Cleveland, I went to New York City. I drove to New York City probably every other weekend. I tap dance with Henry Latang. That's the young man who taught Sylvian Glover. That was my tap dancing teacher. My mother owned a studio growing up. She named it after my brother and sister and I. And we were actually the neighborhood kids that got all the kids together to dance. So I did ballet, jazz, modern jazz, tap. We traveled and all that. So I did New York City, but New York City was kind of traveling back and forth to dance. New York City scared me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
And why?
Yeah.
It's a city that never goes to sleep. I ended up living there when I was about 30 or so. I lived there for a moment. I was training a client in New York. But it scared me when I was driving back and forth to New York City. I didn't feel good there. I just was nervous. And so I heard California never rained here. And then when I figured that out, I couldn't believe anybody would ever want to live in Cleveland in the snow. I was like, why are we here? It is not raining in California. And I was like, I'm out.
Right. Yeah, it's because I'm from New York, and I went back last summer. I could never live there again. Man, it's so congested.
Right.
Like when you walk down the street, it's like a maze.
Yes. Listen, I remember when I was living in New York City, and I was walking I would walk to Steve Harvey's. I would walk to his penthouse before to get him, and we would walk into the radio station. So it was literally like waiting to get out into the intersection. Talking about walking. People are walking so fast, it's like, okay, and then you go, it's like you were caught in this. It was crazy. And then you walk fast to keep up. It was crazy. It was really crazy. People like walking back and forth. I was like, walking on the street was like driving a car. It was congested, and then people were moving like they had somewhere to go. And you jump in and you move with them, or you get knocked down. It was like that for me. That was when I was older, but growing up, when I traveled back and forth to New York, I just couldn't get comfortable.
Right.
Thinking of being there by myself.
Right.
So I chose California.
What was confirmation that you were living in your purpose? Did you have a moment or?
What was when somebody started paying me $10,000 a month? That's one person.
Right.
When that listen, when that person was like, "What's your price?" I said, 10,000 a month, and they sent me the check. They at the time, I don't know if it was Zelle, I forget, but it showed up in my account. I was like, yes, and that's when I knew. That's when I knew. I mean, I was doing it before. I was really doing it when I got $10,000 a month from one client. Yeah. Right. And then this and I was putting all my money in the bank, and then they were paying for all my food. It was crazy. They paid for my living arrangements, my food. Yeah, he confirmed it all right.
Yeah, it's funny how like it's not in many cases not what you're worth, is what you negotiate. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? The art of negotiation is so real. Right. So real.
There are some interesting use to say that, because being worth it is relative to the person you're talking to. Like, because when I started training Steve Harvey knows everyone. He knows everyone. He knows everybody. Janet Jackson trainer, I thought at the time was probably the best trainer to me on the planet. Tony Martinez at the time. He was making something millions with her. Sometimes it's just your personality being able to fit in.
Right.
How you get chosen.
Right.
It's about you being able to fit in and you fitting the needs. So it's not about being the best all the time. There's always going to be someone better, but it's about you being able to fit into the environment. He was like, I'll take you places we don't even know you're there.
Right.
You just fit in so perfectly. And so he would keep hiring me for jobs. He would keep hiring me for things because I fit in. So, be yourself, be confident, ask for the money, and then try to fit a need. When you show people that you care and you can fit the need that they have, they'll pay for you.
And
don't be afraid to give. The biggest wealth principle is giving.
Right.
Giving it shall be given unto you. Press down, shaking together, run it over with the same measure you give. It'll be measured back unto you. That's Malachi.
Right.
But that's Luke. Which one? That's both.
Yeah. You told me something on the hill one time. I was doing boxing and you were training someone on at the top of the hill, and you told me, I'll never forget it. You gotta meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
You the one who told me that quote.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where did you get that from, man?
Anthony Robbins. He talks about meeting people where they are, and then once you meet them, be willing to give more of yourself than they would even expect of you.
Wow.
He said, "Now always keep you around."
Wow. Yeah, that quote definitely stuck with me. Do you have a favorite quote?
Couple of them. My favorite quote right now is, sometimes winning means beating yourself, because we're always in competition with other people. Get off of Instagram. Stop looking at what everybody else is doing and figure out what God's doing in your life. And win. Beat yourself. Win. Get over your insecurities, all your hangups. Right?
Right.
You gotta start there.
Right.
Start there.
And that's really what the journal does too. The journal makes you compete against yourself because you're actually logging it, correct?
Right. And you want to get better every day.
You get better.
One of the reasons why we don't grow, we don't stretch, we don't see new muscles, because we're doing the same thing. And we don't know we're doing the same thing because we're not, writing stuff down, walking around with a journal seems weird to people at the gym. Okay, maybe you don't want to take it, but as soon as you get your car, you write it down. Because what do you know when to start? How do you know where to start next time if you don't have a trainer? How do you know where to start? You're going to still do 35? One of my clients today was putting 35 pounds. I said, you did that last week. And you did 25 reps. It's time to go up. You can do it. It has to challenge you. It has to challenge you. Try to tear the muscle down and build it back stronger. That's everything in life. It has to challenge you.
Right.
That's when your best flavors come forth. That's when you see the muscle. That's when your true character comes out, when you're being challenged. Hopefully that character's good. It's rooted in something good.
Before we get out of it, what's been your secret?
My secret to what?
Yeah, because you're in tremendous shape. What's been your secret to your health and fitness journey?
Working on me every day. I ain't married yet, so I gotta keep it tight until he comes.
Facts.
I want to walk around naked in red bottoms. That's probably way too much information. But I'm saying, in order for me to do that,
pastors listening like, well, I guess Time to go back to watching the football game.
Well, listen, first of all, I want to represent my brand well. So the older I get, actually, the older you get, that's when the work actually starts.
Right.
Interesting enough, if I hadn't laid the little bit of foundation I did growing up before I turned 50, it would have been sad. I'm watching some of my friends now get into working out and they're 50.
Right.
You got a whole lot of work to do. Your metabolism slows down. It's hard to put it together.
Right.
So now I have to pay attention to my body, learn my body, and make the adjustments. As my metabolism slows down because my estrogen levels go, I can't keep eating what I used to eat.
Right.
I have to make the changes with my body.
Right.
So I'm paying attention to me, making sure my body's getting all the nutrients it needs to thrive. And I'm enjoying it.
And the book is Fit to Win. You got the book right next to you, right? Fit to Win. Fit to Win. I have the book. You should get the book. And you're going to DM Don Strozier at Don Strozier on Instagram. And the book will be readily available for you. And it was great having you on. It was great having you on. I've never known your story. I've only known you to be a great trainer. You know, it's awesome to hear your story.
Yeah, that's just part of it.
well, we know there's much more. But if someone is in addition to buying your book, Fit to Win, go to her Instagram, get the book.
Right.
What's the words of encouragement? Because you're an implant, you're an entrepreneur, and you survived in probably the first or second biggest city in the world.
Right.
What would you tell someone? Because there's a lot of people wanting to leave, whether it's a divorce, whether it's abuse, or whether it's opportunity.
Right. You got to figure out what you've been called to do. Right. And once you truly know what you've been called to do, plant your feet and do it. Les Brown used to tell me sometimes you have to believe in someone else's belief in you until your belief kicks in.
Say that again.
Sometimes you have to believe in other people's belief in you until your belief kicks in. How many times are you not talking about writing a book? How many times you look me in my face and say, Dawn, what are you doing? Write the book.
Yeah, write the book.
Right? You know everybody in the world. Just write.
Right.
I remember the last time you were so disappointed because I hadn't started. You threw your hands up. And I said, that's the last time he's going to throw his hands up at me. I didn't just write one book. I wrote 4 books, 2 ebooks, 2 ebooks, and two books you can put in your hand.
Right.
And I think I showed out on both of them because you had mad belief and faith in me. You're like, Dawn, you're playing. No, what's up? Where's the book?
Facts.
You say, all you're doing is talking. Facts. And I was a little nervous because I hadn't really written. I wrote 20 chapters of creating a lifestyle of winning. Fit to Win, creating a lifestyle of winning. I wrote 20 chapters. And I had to dig in and do the research. And I wasn't worried about what anybody else thought because I was beating Dawn at that moment. I was doing me. I was going to give my best for where I am right now. So the next one may be a bestseller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is going to be what it is.
Right.
I'm going to get it out and I'm going to be proud of the fact that I did it.
Right.
And I'm going to keep writing. So
Amen.
I had to believe in the belief that you had in me. And then mine kicked in one day and I got 4 books.
Amen.
So know what your goal is. Surround yourself. Know what your purpose is. Surround yourself with some people that will believe in you and that will rah you to the top like the motivator himself. And then just challenge yourself to win. Challenge yourself to do whatever it takes to make those things come to pass.
Right. Amen. You can keep on writing because we need you back on as a guest. So keep on writing and keep on creating these books. And thank you for coming to the barbershop.
Thank you for having me.
It was a total pleasure. And obviously you're welcome back anytime. Can
I say one thing?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, listen, entrepreneurs that are out there, my book is going on this minority site called buydiv.com. If you have a product, hit info@buydiv.com. It is a minority marketplace. They actually market your book for you. They market your products for you. The Fortune 500 companies to 17 million subscribers from a database that they currently have. So listen, if you have a product, info@buydiv.com. It will blow you away. Sign up. My book is on there as well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, appreciate you, D. Oh, no, FQ. 50, fine and fit. Yeah, FQ. Appreciate you, D. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, my
Great.
friend.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Appreciate you, D. Don Strozier, man, at Don Strozier on Instagram, and she'll be able to help you with the book. I have the book, and it's great to support her. She is a great asset to our community. If you spend any time in the Ladera Heights, Baldwin Hills, Crenshaw area, you've seen Don training. It's that simple, man. If you've been on top of the hill, at the bottom of the hill, midpoint, you've seen Don Strozier training. And yeah, it's great to have her on. So, but yeah, as we transition into boxing. Yeah, man. So let me open up these phone lines. You guys want to beam in and all that. I forgot to have the beam in because I know Picasso, you just should have beamed in. And I didn't even think about it. You guys got to remind me when these interviews are going on. But yeah, feel free to call in. But here's my take for the new people that are coming in. I think they shag in this fight, man. I really, really think that they shag in this fight. And it's awful to see this. It's awful to see this. And now we have confirmation, dog. We really, really, if you guys really pay attention, we got confirmation that all these guys are the same. It ain't no difference, dog. It ain't no difference between Al Haymon, Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya. These men in suits will create this picture and team up with each other to keep themselves in business. Trust me. That's all that's happening right now. Bob, I told you this. Go back and watch my Bob interviews if you guys like. I told you guys. I asked Bob. I said, Bob, you setting Terrence Crawford up, huh? No, I'm not doing it. He can do whatever he want. I said, you setting him up because you know he only got to come back to you. And what do you know? I don't know if he's going to come back to Bob Arum, but PBC basically said, if you come to us, you got to get 50 cents on the dollar. Eddie Hearn said, if you come to me, shit. Shit. I ain't got no room for you. And he knew this. He knew the open market would destroy him. And now that he has no allies, he's basically at war with no infantry. He has no ESPN to defend him. He has no PBC to defend him. He's basically an independent guy. And I don't know if that team is wise enough to say, you know what? I'm going to step out on faith and I'll make this fight regardless. I don't know if they have the infrastructure to actually do that and or pull it off. They got the fighters, but I don't know if they have the aptitude, you know what I mean, to say we don't need no network. And they actually start reaching out, because if Earl don't get this fight, they lying when they say fans don't want to see this fight. They lying, because if Mikey Garcia and them did 250, 300,000, they lying to us, man. They lying. They are lying to us, man. And people are going to believe them. You know, it's awful to see, man. It's really, really bad to see what's happening over there at PBC. And whatever Tim Smith says, he got it directly from Al Haymon. Tim Smith doesn't even do interviews. Listen, he doesn't free willy anything. He is basically Al Haymon's lapdog. And I say it respectfully, not in a disrespectful manner, but Al Haymon pets him and dictates to him what he should say, what he should do. That's why he doesn't do interviews all the time. And if you think he's not speaking for Al Haymon on a PBC platform, I mean, shit. I mean, he's all of a sudden they want to talk about. All of a sudden, Tim Smith pops up on an interview. All of a sudden, just randomly. You don't think that was planned? Of course it was planned. 100% it was planned. And now we are in a position now where I don't know how Earl Spence's mindset is. I don't know if he's aligning himself with Al or he's aligning himself with the fight, you know. But this fight has to get made. And if it doesn't get made, it's like whatever. It's nothing Spence can do after this fight that's going to please the fans. I don't see it. There's nothing Crawford can do that's going to please. We'll tolerate it, but and I'm gonna say this. I don't think the fighters. Okay, perfect. FHAW17 at Gmail. FHAW17 at Gmail. I don't think no fighter's ducking this fight, dog. I don't think so at all. You can't convince me Terrence Crawford won't fight Earl Spence and vice versa for $8 to $10 million, dog. You can't tell me that, man. They've been fighting their whole life, man. I don't think so. I think we're beyond the stage because even if they lose, it's not really a loss. You gave the fans what they wanted. You know, Maidana lost twice and he was a national hero. You know what I mean? So I don't believe it at all. Not one bit, not one iota. I don't believe it. These guys want to fight each other. And as you can see, they're jumping in. They're basically trying to curate the conversation, y'all. They're literally trying to curate us and tell us what we should be doing. What we literally should be doing. That's exactly what PBC is doing. Is getting in front of the argument. It's kind of like how the news, how the police officers in a shootout, they get in front of the story. Do you think PBC care about the backlash from fans? They never cared. They never cared. What promotional company cares about the backlash of the fans? Because y'all won't do what I suggest that we do. Pull all our money out. Once we pull all our money out, sheesh. Once we pull all our money out, Sean, then it gets real spooky out here. They like, damn. Because remember, Kanye West told us no one man should have all that power. And it's a 3-team power. It's a 3-team power head. You got Eddie, Bob, and Al. I don't excuse any of them. I hold all of them to the same accountability. You know what I mean? I don't. In my free time, I'm going to talk about Al because it gets y'all attention. But in the meantime, between time, they all going to get my level of accountability. And that's where I stand. They don't care about your money, Sean. They know you're going to pay. They know you addicted. You know, they know you ain't going to, they know you're not going to walk away. They know you're not going to listen to me. But if we all got on the same car, see, what we got to start doing, Sean, is stop negotiating our freedoms. We did it with the civil rights movement. We negotiated our freedom. You don't negotiate freedom. You either free or you not. If you're negotiating your freedom, that means you can never be free. You know, so we got to stop negotiating. We got to take what we're supposed to take. You know, we got to stop attending these fights. We got to stop paying for these pay-per-views because Tim Smith should have came out and says, you know, he's fighting Ugas. I recently saw Earl Spence and he had because he watched it. Everybody watched it, you know, Road to Undisputed. That's the fight that Earl Spence wants really bad. I'm all for Earl Spence and we got to make this fight. The goal is to make this fight. That's what he should have said. But you know what he did say? The undertone? Terrence Crawford can't sell this fight. But 5 years ago, you had a fighter named Floyd Mayweather, and you could have put him in against anybody, and they were going to sell units. So what he says is what? Tim Smith is saying Earl Spence can't sell this pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford can't sell this pay-per-view, and we're not paying for it. We're not going on the hook for all these pay-per-views. You know, so it's a tragedy. I believe the fight is going. I genuinely believe the fight is going to happen. I believe the fight will happen, and they're going to rob the fighters, and Al Heyman is going to do it on his black card, and Bob Arum is going to do it because he's just going to be more forward. You know what I mean? But Tank Davis, if Tank Davis was honest about what he got paid against Lil Tyson, what's his name? Miguel. What's his name? Isaac Cruz. And it's I'll put it in the chat. Appreciate you. Yeah, he didn't get his desired pay. Nah, he really didn't. And now he tough. Hey, this is a hell of a game, y'all. 19-18, 7 minutes and 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10, Georgia at the 42-yard line. It's a really good game. You know, Ortiz, they did about, I would say about 13,000 buys, probably 10,000. Man, I don't know. They did well. They so low that they not even counting those fucking, you know what I mean? They not even counting the motherfuckers. You didn't sell. That's basically what it said. You didn't sell. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It didn't sell. Oh, they got a first down. Georgia got a first down. 19-18, 6:29. Yeah. Yeah, so I believe the fight is going to happen, but they're taking money off the top of it. They're taking money off the top of it by downplaying the fight. And if you're telling people Crawford ain't anything, then you're taking money off the table. You're taking money off the pay-per-views. But honestly, with all these pay-per-views, sadly and true, PBC came into the market space with free boxing for all, if you guys remember that. And they literally, in the last 8 months, are literally destroying the pay-per-view market. Now fight fans are just looking at, I ain't paying for that. Like, they don't even care who the opponent is. I'm not paying for that. That's their first reaction. I'm not paying. Nah, I'm not paying. PBC has had 5 or 6 pay-per-views since October. Crazy. God damn. It's too many. Man. I remember when pay-per-views like once every 3 months, where it was a build up to it, or 6 months, once or twice a year. Now we got to pay the fighters' salaries now. Now they trying to, man, they doing a doozy on us. Hey, they do a doozy on us that we complain about not having the best fights, and we pay for the best fight. You talk about getting your mind blown. Wow. Oh man, you talk about being mind blown, dog. Man, it's crazy. I mean, they they did a doozy. It's like the Democratic Party, man. Hey, being a boxing fan, you might as well be a Democrat. You know what I mean? Because they lie. And by no means am I perching up the Republicans either. But damn. Sheesh. It's awful. It's awful, man. And Yeah, I'm tired of all of it. I'm really tired of everything now. Make the fight, man. Make the fight. The fighters need to step in front of everybody. The fighters need to step in front of the situation and say, the fight is gonna get made. This is what we're doing. But Spence got to fight. Spence got a hell of an opponent in front of him that genuinely believes in himself. And he believes he's better than Spence. He believes God has prepared him for this moment. He believes in divine intervention. Ugas believed that this is the moment of his life. You can tell by how he talks. He does not believe he's going to lose this fight. Not one bit. Not one bit. Not one bit. So, so that's the problem. See, that's the problem, Picasso. I'll pay to see Spence fight whoever. Same with Wilder. I paid for Charlo and Floyd. That's the problem. They're going to keep on pimping us. Keep on pimping us. Keep pimping. Keep pimping. Keep pimping. Keep pimping. Keep pimping. Now we got to hold out. At some point, we got to hold our water. You know, Deontay Wilder said, I'm not going to fight Bermain Stavern on pay-per-view. Nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just take this guarantee. Yeah, you just keep on getting pimped. Just keep getting pimped. Y'all enjoy getting pimped. Y'all like getting nothing for something, paying for something and getting nothing. What's up, 678? Oh, I guess so. Yeah. See, here's how retarded that comment sounds. They have the promotional companies have network deals. This is how ignorant you sound. They have a network deal. Top Rank has ESPN. PBC has Fox. Do you understand that? Do you understand that they get money from the network? They can afford to pay. But who am I? Who am I? I'm just a man with common sense that gets it. You know, you keep on voting Democrat, they gonna keep on lying to you. You keep on buying these dumb pay-per-views, they gonna keep on feeding you bull crap. And that's the stone cold truth. And in the meantime, between time, they're gonna keep on putting these BS cards, and the promoters make most of the money. I told you how the game worked. You get in there and get cheap labor. So you think Isaac Cruz was by accident? Man, that was pre-planned, dog. Man, they planned that shit off. Man, they used Rolly. Man. Rolly was a pawn in all of this, man. They knew that kid didn't speak English. They knew he wasn't marketable. But what they were hoping on is shit. They got Mexicans in LA. They ain't got no Cubans, no Cubanos, no Afro. What's the term? Afro-Cubans, Cuban Afros. They ain't got them. Shit, they got Mexicans in LA. We need to sell out the Staples Center. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. So you can't tell me. I done been around boxing too long. You know what I mean? I've been around boxing too long. Afro Latinos, thank you, dog. And it's they using us. They using us, dog, and we fall for it every time. I gotta support my favorite fighter. I gotta support my favorite fighter because if I don't support him, they not gonna get paid. Let the network pick up the deal. Let the network pick up the change. Showtime makes $400 million a month, and your dumb ass is like, I gotta pay my $50. You sound like Uncle Ruckus, man. They make $400 million a month off of subscriptions, y'all. That's what Showtime makes. Don't you understand that? and they got you wrapped up in a little ball. I got to pay my $50. It's like grandma at the church. I got to pay my tithes. I don't care if I ain't got nothing to eat during the week. I'm gonna pay my tithes. God gonna make a way. I'm gonna pay my tithes, and God gonna make a way. Meanwhile, the guy just drives off in his damn in his Cadillac, right? Kind of like Elijah Muhammad, right? Just drives off in his Cadillac. You know what I mean? While his patrons are making less than minimum wage. Can you believe that? Making less than minimum wage. And we fall for it every time. Let the men in the suits pick up the bill. You know what I mean? So, it's 26-18. Georgia just scored. Ooh, they up against it now. Alabama need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Ooh, man, it's gonna be tough. The question is, are you saying we shouldn't watch the fights? No, I'm not saying we shouldn't watch the fights. I'm saying if we don't buy the pay-per-views, then they won't put them on. Right? It's simple. That's it. Don't buy. I'm selling. Nobody buy the. No one should buy Keith Thurman's. No one's. Who else got a pay-per-view coming up? If it's not a fight, that's worth pay-per-view, we shouldn't buy it. How you doing?
What's up, Brad?
What's up? So what's up going on with PBC? I was listening. What's up? What's going on?
You called it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, I back and watch a little bit. I'm like, God damn, Fred.
Yeah.
I remember when you said it. You said, they ain't got no money, y'all. Sure, y'all don't believe me. You know how you be condescending like that. You be like, sure, y'all don't believe. Don't listen to me. They ain't got no money. Pretty soon, all the fights gonna be pay-per-views.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting here, and I'm like, God damn. You called it.
Yeah.
They ain't got no money.
No money.
And that Tim Smith guy, that's what I was talking about mainly today. And, you know, he said a lot of it was fluff. But the bottom line is two things. If he speak for PBC?
Yeah.
Or do he speak for
he is Al Haymon's voice. He is, I mean, like, listen. He basically says, Al Haymon says this. He's the vice president of communications. That means he works for the company. He is the voice of the company. You can't say anything that Al Haymon does not approve or approves. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So
yeah, he's a company man. He's an official company man.
So if he's Al Haymon's voice, suffice to say, wouldn't it be logical for us to understand as fans that if Al Haymon feels that way, then he have let Errol Spence know that, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Wait a minute. Let Errol Spence know what?
Okay, he was saying that he was saying economics, there's no money, like pretty much there's no money for the fight. You know, he wasn't built. He said Terrence Crawford's entire career, he wasn't built for pay-per-view. I would submit that no fighter is from there. If you're going by their entire career, that's just something that you gravitate towards. If, you know, depending on your performance and how well you do in your career.
Right.
Nobody from the jump is built from pay. You know, we can't look at Keyshawn Davis and say, oh, he's a pay-per-view fighter. Not today, but one day he may be. You know what I'm saying? So if PBC feel like Crawford has no value and he don't deserve nothing, then wouldn't they let Errol Spence know that? Because Errol Spence is getting that pressure that Crawford want to fight. Errol Spence said he wants to fight. But when they let Errol Spence be in the know, and then if that guy, if he's not speaking for PBC, then is he speaking for Earl? And then why doesn't Earl correct people? Why do boxers in general let anybody speak for them and don't correct them?
Great question.
Do you let
yeah.
for you?
Yeah.
Fred?
No. I speak for myself. I think that fighters allow their management team and give them too much leverage, give them too much power. Well, I'm gonna sit and talk to my team. You are the team. Everyone else is an employee of you. They work for you. You are the team. Like, you make the final decision. You can get advice, but you know, it's me. Yeah, I'm gonna call the shots. And I thought that fight, I thought that interview was really bad, because it left a bad taste in fans' mouths. Like, oh no, like I'm not interested. Like, I'm pissed off now. You shouldn't be doing that to basically Errol Spence's next opponent.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And you hear about then Mikey Garcia got 50-50, but you didn't hear nothing about that till after the fact.
Yeah.
You hear Sean Porter got 50-50, but you didn't hear that till after the fact. And Danny Garcia, I think he got 60-40, but you didn't hear that till after the fact. So why is Terrence dealings in the court of public opinions? What changed? Why we can't hear that after the fact? And if Canelo and Terrence interchangeably have been 1 and 2 pound for pound all these years, what's the big daylight between them? If Canelo is worth $40 million, surely Terrence Crawford is worth close to that, if not that. They both undisputed. Canelo just got undisputed in November. Terrence been undisputed. They both, Terrence is 3 division. Canelo is 4 at this point. PBC got $40 million for Canelo, but they don't got shit for Terrence.
His drawing power is a lot different than Terrence Crawford's stuff. But I will say Terrence Crawford's dumbness as it pertains to media is coming back to hurt him big time now. Oh, haunt him. It's coming back to haunt him nasty. And yeah, it's coming back to haunt him. And now he realized he should have attached himself to the fans. And not only is it hurting Terrence Crawford, it's hurt Errol Spence. Because you need a partner. Like Conor McGregor did his part. They did a 3-country tour, not a 3-city tour. 3-country tour.
A couple of places in America, one in Canada.
Yeah, New York, LA, Canada, and overseas. They sure did.
But and that guy writing that article, he made Errol Spence look foolish. We know he's throwing shade at Terrence, but he made Errol look stupid. And I'm mad, Fred, because at the end of that, I said, you know what, this fight ain't gonna happen. It's too many moving parts. This fight is not gonna happen, and now I don't care. And if you ain't, if you're not Deontay Wilder, and Terrence Crawford is my favorite fighter, so I'll buy his stuff and I'll buy Deontay. I ain't buying nobody else shit.
Yeah, it's
and I want this shit, but I ain't buying it.
Yeah. And that's the taste that that left in fans' mouth, and that was done purposeful. That was done purposeful. Man, listen, I know business. Listen, I understand how people want to devalue you. Y'all watching the person who they devalue. Oh, he's uncouth. He's this. Fred is so disrespectful. He hates white people. Oh, they said everything about me, dog. That's the same thing they're doing to Terrence Crawford and indirectly doing it to Spence. I'm telling you. Al Haymon is about Al Haymon. It's 32-18. It's over now. So I'm telling you, dog, like Bob Arum did it to Terrence Crawford. Everybody jumped out the window. Oh, when Tim Smith does it, they blame Terrence Crawford. They ain't saying PBC is, man. I get it, man. I get it. Why? I never heard Floyd Mayweather say, the whole build up to Conor McGregor was basically he biting my style. He never said Conor McGregor ain't this. He ain't no pay-per-view star. He ain't this. He knew he was fighting Conor McGregor. So he kept his name in the news. He kept him relevant. You know, Floyd played the game like the best of them. You know, like a champ. He intentionally said what he said. He sounded just so Bob Arum just gave his opinion then. Tim Smith just gave his opinion then. Y'all just retarded. Y'all just stupid and retarded. And y'all go for the same old pump fakes every time and enjoy getting Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios on pay-per-view.
Somebody gonna buy it.
Yeah, somebody gonna buy it. Yeah, half these people in the chat gonna buy it.
I'm gonna be checking in with people.
Yeah.
Hey, what you doing?
yeah. You know what I mean?
Or look, I'm gonna look at the highlights and fluff like hell through the broadcast.
Facts.
But Smith said that about Sean Porter. Oh, Sean Porter can't sell a ham sandwich or whatever kind of sandwich before the fight. He did that. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so, but you gave him 50-50.
Well, I don't know if he got 50-50. I don't know what the negotiations were. But that brings me to the point. Terrence Crawford is a bigger star than Sean Porter.
Exactly.
Far bigger star. Sean Porter couldn't give away free tickets. Do you not understand that? Sean Porter, they was building up Sean Porter because he fought the week before Earl Spence, Mikey Garcia in March 2 years ago. If you don't remember, go Google it. You know, so at the end of the day, I said, I was at the Sean Porter fight. It was about 500 people there. They couldn't give away tickets to schools. They didn't even know who Sean Porter was. Nah, I ain't going. No, I'm saying I'm not being disrespectful or nothing. Nah, I don't want to go. Oh, it's a championship fight. I don't even know who he is. Fox purposely put him the week before because they thought Sean Porter was going to win, which he did, and they knew they had the pay-per-view already set up in September. That was the whole plan. That was the whole rollout. Y'all remember the whole rollout with Fox, and they did all those fights consecutively, and we had the schedule, and we were excited, and we like, oh yeah, in 2 weeks we getting this fight. Oh, in 3 weeks we getting that fight. Y'all remember that? The same thing. That is what should be going on. Remember Andre Berto, Victor Ortiz? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember them fights.
Yeah, the winner gets me, Floyd Mayweather. Simple math. It's simple.
But you know what else?
Yeah.
That Errol Spence said after Sean Porter, like he basically said Bud next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got in a car accident.
Yeah, but he fought Danny. He should have came back and fought Bud. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, at this point, that interview that Tim Smith said, it did it for me. And now my conclusion is Errol Spence is ducking, and I don't care what nobody say about it. I don't care what nobody say about it because the goalposts keep getting moved. Every time they set a measuring stick for Bud, they got to move the goalposts or it wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. But before the fight, it's like, oh, this will tell me everything. Well, don't tell them everything.
Yeah.
So in the end of the day, Errol Spence is ducking them, and I'm going to have to live with it. I'm hot fire mad, Fred, that they are not going to fight, and I don't think they're going to fight.
I've
never heard say that, but I'm mad as hell about that shit. You never heard me say that because I was always optimistic, and I said, "Oh, Fred, you know, you got to buy the fights."
You was buying every fight.
Every fight. I bought every Errol Spence fight. I like Errol Spence. His fans are making it impossible for me. They make it impossible. And what Tim Smith says, because he's a mouthpiece, as you say, for Al Haymon, it tells me everything I need to know. They're never going to make that fight, so fuck them.
Right.
That's how I feel.
All right.
I'm on the train, Fred. Just, I showed you my ticket now. Don't kick me off. We're going to see. I still love boxing, but we'll see. I have to make some maneuvers. But now, if you ain't Deontay or Terrence, there will be other fighters I add to the list. But right now, those are my two. I'm not buying no more fights.
Facts.
And that's the PBC. Thank you, PBC.
Right.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Miss T. Appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, peace.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate you, Reg. Thank you, Reg. Reg Dub. Hey, Fred, you do a hell of a job, man. You better tell these people. I've been watching you for a while and just been silent. I respect and look up to you, especially as a businessman and standing on your square. And that's the one thing I'm always gonna do. I'm gonna tell you how I feel and stand on it. You know what I mean? And I think that's important. I think we got to get back to that as men. But in the meantime, between time, Georgia looks like they're going to win a national championship, and yeah, looks like the game is over. It was a hell of a game. These guys are separated by a half a yard. These guys are so close, a half a yard, like literally a half a yard. Like it's not much that separates these two teams from each other. And don't forget, I know that the room is starting to fill up as we get closer and closer to 9 o'clock. I know if I stayed on till 10, we'll have our normal 400 to 500 people in here. We start at 7:30 now. 7:30, 7:30, 7:30, 7:30, and we got to get acclimated to it. But I want to say thank you guys for coming in here, man. And yeah, it's over. They just got sacked. It's over. He may not even get up. He looked hurt. The quarterback. Both quarterbacks played terrible. And yeah, it's over. Yeah. I don't think really no offense has played well. It was much of a defensive game. So, but yeah, man, it's that it left a sour taste in my mouth, man. That Tim Smith shouldn't be talking. If he ain't promoting the fight, you shouldn't be talking, dog. Just be quiet. You know, and Tim Smith was one of them guys too that tried to get me out of boxing too. He was, him and Kelly Swanson are like this, like in terms of what they attempted to do to me. They thought I was gonna go away. Shit, I'm gonna get stronger. We don't die, we multiply. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Go watch the interview. It's on PBC. I would play it, but PBC, they don't like me. So like, if I post anything on PBC on Instagram, they strike it. So they have every right to. They have every right to not want me to succeed. You know, just like any other promotional company, they got every right to do what they want to do. You know what I mean? So we'll see. What's up, Kyron?
Good evening, my brother. How you doing tonight?
I'm feeling great, man. I appreciate you coming in. First time, right?
Yeah, first time. Right.
Welcome to the show, big homie.
All right, so I got a question for you, right?
Yeah.
Because your heading is, PBC is kind of slandering Crawford, right?
Yeah. No,
but that's not nothing that Bob and them hasn't said for the last year.
Right.
So it's more or less Bob and them put that out. Now let me ask you this, right? Do you think the numbers from the Porter fight confirm what Bob was saying?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So this is my last question, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Crawford said 60-40 his way or no fight, how does that fight get made? And how is that PBC's fault?
He wouldn't do it.
But that's the only thing that's the only number he said. 60-40 his way or no fight.
He wouldn't do that. He would make the fight.
I don't know. He seems to have an issue with Spence and being under Spence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
By everything he's always, because even when he talks about, Spence, he always say his little career.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you've been boxing much longer, but he was brought up differently. You know what I'm saying? He was showcased where you wasn't. That's not your fault. That's not his fault. That's what it is. What you think?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, I believe the fight is going to get made. I think they're taking money off the top of the fight. I really believe that they're intentionally making this fight cheaper so they don't have to pay. I'm serious, man. It's no way Floyd Mayweather would say this, man. It's no way Manny Pacquiao would slander a guy that he's going to fight next in a pay-per-view fight. It's no way.
Now, listen.
Way. Yeah.
Now, listen. Could it be possible that they already talked to Crawford and he's not budging off what he want the majority?
Everything's possible, for sure.
I mean, because he hasn't said any number but that. You dig what I'm saying?
Sure.
This whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He never said he would take 50-50. Never. And even when asked about it, he said no. So if
Yeah,
he wants the lion's share, how does that fight get made? And how is that PBC's
no.
fault?
If they sat at the table, the fight would get made. Trust me. The fight would get made. No doubt about it. If they
But,
sat and talked, the fight would get made. Yeah.
but see, that's another point, right? I don't think he wants to deal with PBC
He
because
has
if
no
you
choice.
recall,
What do you
right,
mean?
I'm gonna tell you why, right?
Okay.
He asked the WBC and the IBF to mandate, right?
Yes.
Only thing that does is eliminate some of the negotiations. If it was a
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, but that also answers your question. If that means he doesn't mind getting the 40% because he has to be mandated.
Yeah, but he would get more than no. But see, that's the thing. I don't think it's 40 no more.
But yeah. Who cares what it is? It's less than what Errol Spence would get.
And that's the thing. I don't think he wants to take that.
But you just said he asked to be the mandatory.
Yeah, he did. But I don't think
but he asked to be the mandatory. So
he
you're
did
not
have
the
to be the
champion.
mandatory.
Yeah.
But we all knew that wasn't going to happen either. You know what I mean?
Now you're going backwards, dog.
No. Listen, I'm not going backwards because that's what he said, right? Even like when he was on the.
If he asked to be the mandatory, that means he will accept less than 50%. You ain't gonna be a mandatory and get more than a champion. That ain't gonna happen.
Now that part I agree with, which doesn't make sense because he's never came out and spoke on it again. You know what I'm saying? And like this is another thing that kind of puzzles me about the whole situation, right? All right. Crawford has the more distinguished career, more accolades, more belts. But how come nobody is chasing after him to sign him? Like what Bob said really stuck with a lot of promoters.
No, the promoters are in line with one another.
Okay, so you're saying it's a joint venture just to say what the hell was Crawford.
Hell yeah, they gonna ask him out. Al Haymon can't go against Bob because they got to have a long-term pay-per-view venture. They got to work together on pay-per-views. They're not gonna slash each other. This ain't the only deal they gonna make.
Well, besides the Fury deal, they wasn't making any fights.
Yeah, they made a lot of fights. They just made one.
Which one?
Arthur Beterbiev.
Okay. Yeah, but that wasn't a money fight like that.
It's a fight. It's important.
Okay.
It's millions of dollars. It's a lot of money.
Okay. So how you think this thing plays out?
I think the fight happens, but the damage is already done. Like the damage is already done to this fight. Fans are pissed. They're gonna lose money. This ain't no lifetime generational fighters like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather who transcends boxing. This fight ain't that. They are sabotaging this fight to make them go in and take less money. I know.
Okay. Well, Crawford don't seem like he was wanting to take less money.
Man, we're not going back and forth, man.
Okay, we're not.
Just answer the question.
Hey,
man.
I got one more question for you before I go, right?
Please.
All right, what you think about Bob getting to WBC the mandate that Dylan White Tyson Fury fight 80-20?
You don't cross Bob. I explained that to y'all. Eddie Hearn crossed Bob. Eddie Hearn crossed Bob. And I told you guys, if you cross Bob Arum in this business, he will shut you. He will make you pay immensely. And this is basically making Eddie Hearn pay. You gonna take my fighter? You gonna bid on that whatever? Okay, I'm gonna show you. Now your fighter gotta take 20% or that's it.
Now, with that being said, right? Does he have something in store for Tio?
Well, we'll see. Yeah, he got something. He got a lot of fighters at 140.
You think he gets all the fights he wants, or he might get put on the shelf?
No, he ain't gonna be put on the shelf. He's gonna get put up. He's gonna have to fight a lot of fighters.
A lot of dangerous fighters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gonna teach him a lesson.
Hey, Fred, it's been a pleasure, man.
Oh man, thank you for coming in, man.
Thank you for
Thank you.
inviting me in.
Oh, please, and come back. Please come back.
Definitely will. All right.
That's love. Yep, that's love.
Be safe.
All the time. What's up, Max?
Yo, what's good, Fred?
Hey, what's got people piling in at 9 o'clock?
Oh man, I like the new format. I forgot you was on a little bit earlier though.
Yeah. Hey, we got stay on with me, Max. Hey,
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, Charles?
Hey, what's up, Fred? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up? We got Max in here too.
Okay, Fred. Listen, man. Look who Gary Russell fighting. What are your thoughts on this?
He's
man?
a tough fighter.
This guy talk.
He's a tough fighter.
Yeah, but I mean, he fight once every 2 years. All the cap in the world, and he's just I don't know. So you're gonna justify
no
this mandatory whatever?
All he fights is mandatory.
I don't want to hear shit from Gary Russell ever again. I want him to wire his mouth shut. Okay, like a bitch who's trying to lose weight. Okay, I don't hear no more cap coming out this nigga mouth. Seriously, that's just me. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I if Leo Santa Cruz is fighting 2 weeks after him, why aren't they fighting each other? I'm telling you, man.
You were talking about
they do this stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I'm saying if you're an elite fighter, they're going. Devin's next, y'all. Oh, Devin is next. Devin's gonna fight Jose Zapata the third. You know, like Chico. His nickname gonna be Chico. I mean, it happens to all those elite fighters.
What is it with these dudes, man? When they get those belts, they turn into a bitch. T.O. turned into a bitch, man. Yeah. He turned into his coach turned into a fucking pumpkin, man, before midnight. Okay? He was straight tripping as soon as he won the fucking belt.
Right.
And Kambosos is doing the same fucking thing. I'm like, what is wrong with these dudes, man?
I mean, man. Yeah.
They don't want to lose the leverage.
They don't want to lose the leverage. Yeah. But why was I the only one saying this? It ain't happening. People like, oh, Kambosos is an honorable man. He ain't no honorable man. His promoter is Lou DiBella. Lou DiBella been waiting for years to get this moment. You think he gonna give it away because he want to be honorable? Man, get the hell out of here. He's a good guy. He speaks well. He's intelligent. He's articulate. That's the same Eddie Hearn play. Y'all felt for the Eddie Hearn play. I was the only guy in the beginning. What are y'all falling for this guy for? Oh, I want a job. Can you put it in my hand, please? All y'all begging Eddie Hearn, begging, salivating to get 3 minutes. Hey, Eddie, can I just comb your hair, please? You know.
Here's what's really going on in boxing. Yeah. These fighters aren't who you think they are. They're not.
Okay.
They have a persona for fans and then have a real deal behind the scenes where everybody knows who they really are. And I'm looking at you, Crawford. See, you guys think Crawford's one dude. Crawford's somebody else. And we saw that. Sean was told to take a dive. They told Sean, this from here, look at you over telling this. You really whooping this nigga ass, man. We talked about this. You got the bag already. Come on, Shawnee Sean. All right, now's the time. Get into character, nigga. All right? Give us some suspension of disbelief, Hollywood shit. Make this look good, right? And that's not just me, man. Sean was whooping his ass. Am I lying?
Yes.
You're
lying. You're lying.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good fight.
Sean wasn't whooping his ass?
No, he wasn't.
No. It was a good fight.
It was a good fight. It was a competitive fight.
Sean was whooping it. I didn't want to talk to this dude, man. So just me and you.
Don't do it.
You know what Sean was doing, bro. Sean was going to work. And then as soon as how can you be winning the fight and then get your ass beat? That don't even make sense. It's called cognitive dissonance in psychology. Look it up. Your thoughts aren't in agreement with your actions. It's called cognitive dissonance. My brother's on the phone. Look that shit up. It's not normal. You cannot be winning a fight and then all of a sudden get your ass beat just like that.
All three judges didn't think he was winning the fight.
I'm not even talking to this motherfucker, man. All right. So
hey, take your tinfoil hat off, bro.
That's my call, bro. I'm Alfred. It's good talking to you, bro. We're gonna have to do a show though. All right.
Yeah. You definitely got to come on for sure. We'd love to have you. For sure.
All right, man. Peace.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
What's up, Max? How you feel?
Hey, I'm just gonna say, man, Al Haymon is Gordon Bombay, and all the motherfuckers are ducks fly together. All of them, the whole PBC, man. This is the Mighty Ducks 2022. Like quack, quack, quack every fucking other month. Like I be trying, man. Hey, man.
So you think all PBCs are ducks?
When it comes to Bud,
wow. I mean, oh shit. Continue. They listen.
I'm just saying. I mean, like I was one of those people when you said the Cambosa shit, and I'm still like this because the fight hasn't been announced yet. Now, if he fight anyone other than Devin, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna give him a shot. Fuck, I'll give him a shot. But I've been giving shots for 4.5, almost 5 years already with this whole situation, man. I don't know how many more times I need to be like, well, maybe the next one. Well, maybe the next one. Oh, well, there's a good reason why he didn't fight him this time. Maybe the next one. Like, and Sean Porter was like, sacrificial lamb at the end. It was the last fucking fight. They get, WBO made it happen. Or else, if he was still prime Sean Porter, that fight would have never happened either. Like, Al Haymon's not feeding no fighters at PBC. I mean, Al Haymon's not feeding none of the PBC fighters to Bud, period. None of the top ones, at least, for damn sure. So, I mean, obviously it's politics and business, whatever the case may be. You don't want him to make money off your people, whatever the fucking excuses is. But by this time, I think we clearly see what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. I've given up hope on that fight all the fucking way. Like, I've given up hope. And by the time it happens, fucking Terrence Crawford would probably be like 42. So, they robbed us. They robbed us of a legendary fight of this generation, man. Like, that's what I think the importance is not being put there. Like, this was going to be a legendary. This is going to be some shit we talk about 30, 40, 50 years. Like, oh, I remember watching that shit. You know what I mean? Like Tyson, the Holyfield type shit. Everybody knows where they were when that fight came on. This is going to be that. And,
Yep, I'm with you. I couldn't agree more, man. It's Tim Smith, man. You can't say stuff like this, man. There's only one fight for Earl Spence next. You can't come out here and say, oh, Terrence Crawford ain't shit. We ain't making a fight. We ain't got no money. Economically, it didn't work. He wasn't made to be a pay-per-view. Neither was Sean Porter. Neither was Isaac Cruz. Neither was Ugas. Neither was Jamel and Jamal Charlo. You only had one pay-per-view star on PBC, and that was Deontay Wilder. That's it.
Yeah.
You're destroying Earl Spence potential. Earl Spence needs this fight. He needs it ain't. If Earl was here, I'm gonna say, Earl, you need this fucking fight, dog. I don't care what nobody say. They gonna say, oh, I don't care if your trainer say or Al Haymon say. You are gonna hate yourself at 45 when 10,000. Why you didn't fight Crawford? Look at Riddick Bowe. He looks so sad. Did you see that video where Riddick Bowe, he went up to Lennox Lewis and Lennox Lewis is like, I had my career, nigga. Shit, I'm happy. Like, you missed out.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see that.
Yeah, he let me take this call. What's up, 252?
What's up? It's 252 again, man.
I know. What's up?
Yo, what you said about Riddick Bowe, and this is the thing a lot of people don't get about the Riddick Bowe situation. I'm not taking Riddick Bowe's side.
No, just tell what you truth. Tell your truth.
But Riddick Bowe, it was like WBC was wanting Riddick Bowe. He was, I think he was trying to go to purse bid, and like they offered Lennox Lewis a contract. He turned it down, so they took it to purse bid, and they was gonna try to force him to fight Lennox at a certain time. So that's when Rod Newman had him trash the WBC at that live press conference. I was in hospital when all this stuff was going on. They had him trash the WBC at the press conference. Then they offered Lennox Lewis a fight, and Lennox Lewis was supposed to fight him, but then he got knocked out by Arum McCall. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I think Bowe went on. He beat Herbie Hyde and he beat Holyfield and all this. But after the third Holyfield fight, like Bowe was washed. Lennox probably would have beat him in '96, but I think from '90 92, 93, 94, I think Bo would have got it. But like from 96 on, that's when Bo was kind of washed by then. But yeah, but that's definitely a fight. But and since we're talking about like the Crawford and Spence fight, man, and I'm still in amazement 23 years later that De La Hoya and Trinidad happened when you had Arum and King with their two prize fighters, their two money makers. And I'm just shocked that they didn't get it a pissing contest like, well, my fighter deserves more, or my fighter deserves more. But Trinidad was like, okay, De La Hoya can get a large percentage of the person sees a more popular guy. And I'm still shocked that fight happened 23 years later. Because those guys are way more popular than Spence and and Crawford.
Hey, but both those dudes' legacy was known to never duck no one. They fought everybody in their era.
I fully agree with you. I fully agree. Well, actually, Trinidad did duck. He did duck one fighter in his era, and welterweight. Because Don King, they wanted no parts of Sweet Pea from what Sweet Pea did to Chavez.
Chavez.
You wait till Sweet Pea got old, and that's when they fought Sweet Pea. He was old and washed up, coked up, and because you saw him beat De La Hoya and he got robbed. So Don King no parts of Sweet Pea. But other than that, yes, Trinidad didn't duck anybody. I agree. I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
And another thing though about the weight class, but man, I'm just sick of boxing as a whole, man. The only weight class in boxing that everybody fights each other is really junior bantamweight, 115. You got Quadras, you got Gonzalez, you got Estrada and Rumzisa. Like these are like the four kings of this era, and these guys are fighting each other over and over. And like we can't get no fights above one. We can't get no fights above 115. Only like unification fight only at 154 when we got the Stanya and the rematch coming up with Jamel Charlo. But other than that, these guys don't want to fight each other, man. 175. We can't get better vivo. Why can't we get fights at these weight classes? Man, these guys get a belt. They hold his belt, man. They fight nothing but mandatories for 2 or 3 years. It's silly, man. It's silly.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah. Thanks for the call, man. I enjoy your show. Because it's late over here. It's like midnight over here in the East Coast, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we on a little bit earlier now. We on at 7:30 now.
Oh yeah, I know. Too.
Okay.
I was up with it, but yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate the show
all the time.
Peace, Silence. Peace, Fred.
Yo, Fred, I was gonna ask you a question about what you was talking with old boy earlier about Crawford trying to be the mandatory, so meaning that he would obviously accept less because mandatories get less than the champ.
Mm-hmm.
But has there ever been a time when there was a unification mandatory champion versus champion made like that? Or has it always just been dude without a belt trying to get the belt?
Well, the guy fought for a vacant belt in recent history. Lomachenko, he fought for the vacant WBC belt when he was the IBF champion, right?
You talking about when he fought Gary Russell?
No, it was well after that. It was like a year and a half ago. 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. He fought. Who did he fight for the vacant? Luke Campbell?
Might have been. Or Linares?
Did he fight Linares or Luke Campbell for the vacant WBC?
See, but even in that situation, no one held the belt. Like, have we seen a champion demand a mandatory to fight another champion? And then if so, would it be considered? Would it be considered mandatory champion split, or would it be a unification 50-50?
Oh, it would be under, if he's a WBC mandatory, I think it would be under that.
Whatever their split is.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Mm. Yeah, because you won't get the fight if you're not fighting under the rules of the mandatory. So boxing's in a bad state right now. There's no fights we're looking forward to. Where we're just going to watch them because we're derelicts, but it's not no fight right now where I'm like, oh man, like this is amazing. I think Earl and his trainer should do an interview. He's doing that. He's doing those vignettes with his trainer. I think him and Earl, come on here. Come ahead. Call me right now, Earl. Come back to the shop, man. Come back to the shop, man. Sit in the back, smoke your cigar. If you smoke cigars, man, have some milk, or whatever, orange juice, sit in the back, and look at your cattle and your horses running around, and give us a call, man, and answer some of these questions, man. Because
I feel like they both should speak more, but at the same time, I kind of feel like maybe they shouldn't, because a lot of stuff that they spoke in the past couple of years has been gone by the wayside. So it's like, do you want to keep saying things that could be used against you later, or do you want to just stay quiet until it happens?
Now it's time for these motherfuckers to start promoting the fight, dog. Like
you
got to tell these fans the fight is next. Earl has said it at the title of his show, Road to Undisputed, right? But he hasn't come out and says Terence Crawford's next. Period. That's the only fight I want.
That's all I want to hear too, man.
That's the only fight I want. That's it. And Crawford got to come out and said, yeah, I spoke to Earl. The fight, yeah, that's the goal, to make the fight. I'm gonna fight a fight in between, and we have every intention of fighting in the fall. They better get these fans back on their sides, because honestly, fans are exhausted. They're exhausted.
I was just about to say that shit. Like, it's getting to the point I can't even argue anymore with people. Like, me and 817 can't even go back no more about this shit, because it's like, come on, bro, it's the same shit, the same dance every time, man. Like,
yeah, Tim Smith deflated so many fans.
I kind of feel like we're almost scurrying to see, all right, who else can we like? Because this ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that badass chick you've been trying to get at for a minute. She denied you so many times. You're like, all right, you still bad, but I'm gonna move on. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and beg for your attention. Like, who want this money? Who want this pay-per-view money, man? Like, who's gonna pay? You know what I mean? And I now mind you, man, I ain't. I swear, Fred, I'm not trying to troll, bro. Let me say this ahead of time, man.
Troll? Why not?
But I know you see, Jake Paul won Knockout of the Year and Breakout Athlete of the Year for Sports Illustrated.
Sure.
How we feeling about it, man?
Knockout of the year. I thought Tay Jones had a Knockout of the Year candidate. He doesn't have the name notoriety, but I thought that was a close second. Tyron Woodley is a bigger name, bigger fight, obviously. And truth be told, he deserves Breakout Fighter of the Year. He deserves it.
Yeah, he got Breakout Athlete amongst all sports.
Oh, I don't know about that now. I would have to do my homework. I would have to do my homework. I would have, but not Breakout Athlete of the Year. I thought it was my Breakout Fighter of the Year.
No, Breakout Athlete of the Year.
I don't know about that. I mean, the freshman quarterback from Alabama. Shit. I mean, he won the Heisman as a freshman, right?
Yeah, that's big.
Shit.
Hey, but Fred, you see, we calling him the freshman quarterback. Motherfuckers don't know him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Breakout Athlete of the Year, I would have to sit on it. But in terms of fighters, yeah, he definitely jolted the sport. Dana White is calling him out.
Up a little bit, man. He had a Santos moment.
Yeah, Carissa's calling him out.
Or was that me?
Yeah. Huh? What's up, Max?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, something's happening with your being.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely jolted the sport of boxing. But I don't know, Breakout Athlete of the Year? Woo. I don't know. I
think this year he had last year I think he had the 3 fights. I think it was Askren and Woodley. I think Askren did $1 million, and then Woodley did whatever, and then the last one did whatever. But I mean, the Knockout of the Year thing too, I was like, I mean, judging just by like the knockout status of the way it happened was fucking crazy. The names add to it. I think, Wilder Fury's kind of in there, but that kind of, like people were saying, it was kind of inevitable at a certain point in the fight. You knew it was going to come. And then there was the whole Valdez Burchell, but then Valdez with the dirty test right after kind of made it seem not as so. And then the Breakout Athlete thing, I'm not sure what their qualifications were to win that. I don't know if it was strictly your performance in the sport, if it went beyond the sport. Because if they're going to talk about him, getting fighters more money and his promotion and doing all that type shit, I mean, it might be the whole package of him going from nobody to who he is now in sports.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because nobody ever looked at Jake Paul before like, oh, he's an athlete. Like, it was like, he's a Disney kid. He's a YouTuber. Like, that's it.
He was on Disney prior to...
Yeah, him and Logan were like Disney kids back in the day.
Him and his brother?
Yeah. Well, I think he was, but
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like as a teenager or whatever, he was on Disney shows.
Okay.
That's why it just makes it worse because it's like he's not even just a YouTuber. He was a fucking like, you know what I mean, Mickey Mouse Club type motherfucker. Like,
And I mean, they had a hell of a year. They fought. Floyd so dingbatish, man. He gave them all that hard work he put in. He gave it to Logan Paul. Dog, you would never, man. Listen, never in a gazillion years would I hand it off to people that can't be an asset to the let's say to the barbershop. There's no way I would hand it off to someone that's not an asset to the barbershop.
but would you make that check for the barbershop if it was like that?
I wouldn't
Like
fight
that
him.
was 100 mil.
No way I would fight him. He didn't make no 100 mil. There's no way I would fight Logan Paul. No way.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think I don't know. Like I try to like be a little more open minded because I know I'm not young enough to completely understand.
Business. It's strictly business, Max. Like he's an outsider. You know, like I gotta keep this money in circulating. You know, like I ain't giving it to Logan Paul now. No, because I'm not saying Logan Paul was a bad person. I'm saying it's not within the confines of, you know, because it's a money grab. It ain't a real fight. It's
definitely a money grab. Yeah.
Money grab.
The same shit he did in Japan with old boy too, though.
Yeah, he folded him up. Yeah, that's right.
Oh man. Like that one, I was kind of like, is this a real fight? And then when he knocked him out, I was like, oh, that's a real. Yeah, he really can't fuck with him. Like,
Floyd literally knocked him silly. He was out of shape like a motherfucker. Floyd.
Oh yeah, he was fat. It was the first time I ever seen Floyd fat. Oh, like what the fuck?
Yeah, that was different. But
and now he's supposed to fight another YouTuber in fucking Saudi Arabia at the bar or some shit. You know, like
Floyd is for sale.
Actually, I think that YouTuber is like the richest teenager in history because like his dad's like some rich dude. So
he deserved it. And then they didn't even pay him. Haymon and Showtime didn't even pay the man.
Yeah. Here's one thing though, you know, them Paul brothers got access to some good lawyers, so it ain't gonna be like a fighter that just ain't got nothing. Like they gonna have some Hollywood lawyers in there to get active. Man.
Yeah. I'm always gonna pay a man what he's worth, man. You know what I mean? Like, you can overcharge me, and I'm gonna be mad, and I'm still gonna pay you.
Hey, pay what you owe, man. You agreed to it, pay it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, but there's a fine print in the contract that Logan Paul didn't read. Oh, the payment's gonna be deferred, and this and that. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Because how do you not pay the man?
Yeah, how do you get away with not paying him?
How do you get away with it? Yeah, that's definitely a Steven Espinoza question because Steven Espinoza gives the money to Al Haymon, and Al Haymon then gives the checks to TGB, which pays the fighters immediately after the fight. You know, and so I'm very interested to see what happened with that fight. You know, that would be for those of you who covered fights, I would love to hear y'all ask Tom Brown that question. Like, how come Logan Paul didn't get a check after that fight? That's an important question because that says a lot about the health of PBC. You know, like what are they and us to man? It's just so much going on, man. And
or was it some fraternity shit where they tried to little boy him? Like, man, don't give a fuck. What you gonna do?
What they little boy? And that was the play. Remember, the fight was supposed to be on. Remember that other app? Remember?
Yeah, some other whole
Oh, what was the name of the app? It was last December. I remember Floyd posted it last December. Famio.
Yeah.
It was Famio, and he said if you order this time, you can get it for $75. If you wait, you get it for $85, whatever the cost was. And then Al and Steven stepped in and said, "Nah, thank you, dog. Famio, thank you, dog. Pound for pound." And so that tells you they were going to job him. They were going to job him from the beginning.
Well, did Floyd ever settle that fucking lawsuit with the original? I think it was like 120 million because they didn't have a venue or so. I read some shit about that months ago, like the beginning of last year, an article that There was something in the contract that if they didn't have a venue by a certain date, and then the fighters can pull out, and they didn't, and then they were trying to use Corona as an excuse, and it was like, well, you didn't mention the contract, and like, I don't know. I never really followed up on that, but I heard that they were supposed to be taking him to court for money owed plus whatever his new purse was with the reschedule.
Right. I don't know. I never heard of that. So you can gladly fill us in next time you hear about it.
Yeah, I'll try to see what I can find on that. But I was because I've seen a lot of outrage with the Jake Paul Sports Illustrated, you know, breakout athlete of the year, and then the knockout of the year I think was a little less argued against because it was a fucking crazy ass knockout. It went viral.
Yeah, but breakout athlete of the year, nah, man. We got the rookie quarterback from New England. You know,
Mac Jones.
Yeah, I mean, man, you can't.
But do any of these athletes made a bigger impact in sports than Jake Paul did?
In their respective sports? Yeah, LaMelo Ball, he's done it.
LaMelo's definitely getting down.
Yeah,
but
I'll have to sit and think about it. I'll have to go. I don't know baseball too well.
Yeah. Because I was trying to think too, like who else could it have been, and I started thinking like, fuck. I mean, it's probably just him. I mean, because even with LaMelo, Mac Jones, the people we named, the freshman quarterback, it's a big thing, but it's not like transcending sports.
Quarterback from Cincinnati and the wide receiver.
Joe Burrow, yeah.
He's the. Yeah, I would have picked the wide receiver from Cincinnati over Jake Paul.
Jamar Chase. Yeah, he got a crazy rookie season. But then when it comes to Jamar Chase, it's like, okay, now people say the people that don't watch football, do they know who Jamar Chase is? Because there's people that never watch a Jake Paul fight and know exactly who the fuck Jake Paul is.
Not as much as Jake Paul, no. I mean, he had a hell of a college career, so they know him in the South. Like he's a household name. Yeah. He's a regional name, but he's not a national name like what's called. But yeah, I don't think that he can't be the breakout athlete of all sports. No. If Carissa Shield would have won her fight, maybe she's the breakout athlete of the year. You see what I'm saying?
Which brings my new point of Jake Paul's offer to Dana. And he started training. I mean, his kicks are really telegraphed and wide open. Like his technique is whatever, but he got power behind his kick. He looked But the fact that he's saying like, "Hey, one fight deal to fight Masvidal in the cage, and I'll drug test through USADA," you know what I mean? Like if you pay your fighters, like Jake Paul's putting that pressure on motherfuckers that no one else ever has. Like nobody talks to Dana White like that. Nobody talks to Dana White like that.
Really?
Right. All the fighters that ever went against him got shared. Like, you can't talk to the boss like that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Jake Paul's like, why you ain't paying your fighters? Why don't you pay them more? They're the ones that, like, he's on them. And Dana's just like, oh, this motherfucker's a bitch and shit, you know? But he's like, hey, let's talk to business. Like, you ain't paying your fighters. Why you selling so much pay-per-views and your fighters ain't getting paid from it? Like, you selling more than boxing.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that that no one stood up to Dana White.
Right, like everyone that's tried ended up just not being in the UFC or not getting the big, you know what I mean? Like he's the big, because a lot of people that spoke up against him were contracted under UFC. So one, you can't say too much until maybe you're not under contract and you go to Bellator and then you can talk all the shit you want. But then you're in Bellator and everyone just looks at you like, well, you're in Bellator now. Yeah, that's why you're doing it. You're mad. And if they're under contract, you know, it just didn't turn out good for him. I think the only person that really went back and forth with him was De La Hoya. And I mean, we were already laughing at the fishnet, so it was easy for Dana White to kind of deflect on that. But Jake Paul's coming at him aggressively because Jake Paul said that Dana White did coke. Dana White said he don't do it, and then Dana said Jake Paul does steroids, and he ain't getting tested. So that's why Jake Paul said, look, you know, you get coke tested, you get drug tested, I'll get drug tested. Give me a one fight with Masvidal in the cage. It don't got to be boxing. You're gonna make money off of it because it's gonna be UFC. You know, he's obviously going to ask for his cut, and Dana White just kind of told him like he's a fucking joke, and he's not going to do it. So, but
I like that he's putting pressure on. He's so free spirited. I mean, he's just doing what he wants. The world is like he's just manipulating the world. Jake Paul.
I mean, it's sad to say, but he's the boss that we hope the rest of these fighters would be.
It's not sad. You can say it. He's the boss.
Yeah.
He's moving like he's the boss. You know, he's not. He's paying the fighters well. He has his own dates.
And even with the pay, he's giving bonuses to the fighters that wasn't even contracted. He's giving them their whatever he owes them, and then he's like, "Yo, we sold so much, I'm gonna give you another 50K on top of that, or another 100K just looking out for you." You know what I mean, like Montana Love was just on his undercard, got a good look.
Got a deal.
Serrano, yeah, man. He's putting on. I'm interested to see more of what he does, maybe away from his fights, to see if he can put on a fight that doesn't have his name, that's just people he's supporting.
Good question.
And see how that goes.
Good point. Yeah, that'd be
like
dope.
He did mention that he wants Amanda to headline her own card away from him, just her to be the headline and pay her money and help her promote a big fight. So we'll see if he's able to do that, but he's shaking things up, and I think if he really gets his promoter hat on, he can get a lot of the younger fighters to kind of rock with him.
Sure, he can definitely, especially if he does a deal with he ain't even got to do a deal with a network. He can show that shit on his YouTube channel. Pick up the production costs.
Yeah, he could just bid it. He could say, "Look, here's my lineup. What network wants to pick us up? That's it. I got this person, this person, this person." You know what I mean? Like, who wants to pick it up? Highest bidder gets it.
Facts.
And I'll take care of the promotion part. I'll be in the interviews talking shit. I'll be on TikTok and Instagram and doing all these videos and yeah. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna slide out here. I'm gonna let you go, man. It was nice talking to you.
Oh, it's always cool.
You know, well, I ain't gonna hold my breath no more for that fucking fight, man. Like, and we'll just see how this shit go, man. Boxing is like you said, in a bad spot right now. I can't think of one thing I'm looking forward to. I mean, I hear rumors of Canelo and Charlo. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I heard rumors of Boo Boo possibly moving up to 168. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, he don't got no options at 160, so he might as well. But there's not really no options at 168 either, other than what Plant and Benavidez. Like,
but they on the other side of the street.
He's gonna be in the same situation, and I don't know. I did see that video where he went off on Mannix, though, face to face.
Yeah,
I give him props for that, for calling him out. But man, I'm just gonna wait, man. I'm gonna give it a month or two, see how things shake up, see what fights are gonna be locked in and not locked in. Maybe we'll be surprised. And fucking just hope for the best, man. It's a new year.
Hope for the best. It's a new year. That's all.
Yep.
That's all.
I'll holler at you, Fred. I'll talk to you soon, man.
That's love, dog. Appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate you, man. And don't forget, man. Yeah, Kyle works right now, so he'll on his days that he can beam in, he can gladly just come on in, man. And yeah, I like the fact that we have a spot where we can disagree. I think it's important. I think it's important that we disagree on certain things and agree on certain things. I genuinely think it's important. So we're not a monolithic group. I just think that it's just to sum it up. I want to thank Don Strozier for coming in here. It feels weird getting off at 9:30. I feel like I'm just getting started, you know. And but I think that they better start building up this fight. This fight needs wind underneath his wings. You know what I mean? And I think Terrence Crawford and Earl got to start doing interviews. I think Earl has a fight in April, so we're 90 days away from Earl fighting. It has to be after March Madness, so it has to be the third week in April. It can't be the first week in April because that's the Final Four. Yeah, because we come on at 7:30 now. We come on at 7:30, man. 7:30. Call me tomorrow, Tone. We come on at 7:30 now. We're moving up earlier so we can accommodate the East Coast people. We need the East Coast people. They be DMing me, Fred, man. I want to stay up, man, but yeah, you be on late. You be on too late, and so you know, so 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, man. And we got Rick Glazier coming in on Wednesday. And tomorrow was just us. So that'll do it, man. And we got a bot in here. It's cool. She can do it. She can do it. And congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs. Y'all beat Alabama in the big one. Oh, you want to come on? Call in, Tone. Call in. I got you. No problem. You got laid? You about to tell us you got laid? Hey, what's up, 727? Oh, that's not Tone. What's your area code, Tone? 708. There you go. What's up, T? What's up, TB?
Yeah, what it do, friend? What it do?
Hey, what's up? Take your time. Yeah, you ain't got to rush to it. What's up?
Oh yeah, man. Basically, man. I wish I was calling. I got laid, but fortunately, y'all know how that go. But yeah, I just wanted your thoughts real quick.
Yeah, please.
Well, what was with the Tim Smith, and I want your thoughts on how you think Caleb Plant versus Jamal Charlo and Charlo versus Canelo plays out.
I don't think I say this respect. I say this as like unattached. I don't think Charlo was prepared to beat a fighter like Canelo. I think Caleb Plant and Charlo was a good fight. Who wins that fight? I would give Plant the edge because he's at 168. I don't think Charlo's prepared. To for a big fight. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I haven't seen him hurt anybody. I haven't seen him change gears in fights. I don't think he's mentally able to fight. If you're gonna knock a phone out of a fan's and you want to be a pay-per-view star, like I don't think he's there mentally. I wouldn't trust him in a big fight, so I wouldn't pick him. So I would say Canelo easy. Caleb Plant could come in a very competitive fight.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but to kind of disagree a little bit with as far as like the Canelo fight, like I think that Charlo's gonna get up for that fight. Like I think that he's gonna be like very motivated for that fight because he's been chasing him down for years, and now he finally got the opportunity. Like I think that he's gonna be competitive, but I do think that he's gonna get like outclassed.
Yeah,
because
outclassed.
Kind of how Montiel put up a good fight, but
yeah.
But Jermell Charlo, he just he won all the rounds. That's how I see that fight playing out.
Mm-hmm. I don't think
on the opposite foot.
I get that. I totally get it. I wouldn't trust Jamal in a big fight just yet because I haven't seen him in a big fight. I'm not saying I believe he has the talent. I genuinely believe he has the talent. I genuinely believe he has all the attributes to win a big fight. I just don't believe that in the moment that he can do it. I haven't seen it. And how he does interviews, he says, "I'm already rich. I ain't got to fight David Benavidez." I'm like, huh? Like he's not. The mental toughness ain't there. He don't talk like a champion. He talks like a wealthy man. And congratulations for him for being wealthy. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Last question. What you think of Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez?
Chavez beat him silly. Chavez beat that man silly, dog. Come on, man. Cut it out. Man, that's not a fight. Come on, man. That wouldn't.
What if he loses to Jake Paul, man?
He wouldn't lose to Jake Paul. He wouldn't lose. Nah.
I wouldn't put that past him.
Nah. Jake Paul can't beat no Chavez Jr. Hell no. Hell no. I'm glad people like you in the world because the bet's gonna be down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hell no. He been fighting longer. He's a real fighter.
Is he a real fighter, Fred? Come on. Is he really a real fighter? The man has at least 15 losses. That's really like 6 losses. Come on now. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like I definitely agree. Like, yeah, maybe Chavez Jr. would do something, but would he be favored to win? But let's be realistic, man. Chavez Jr. is a fucking disappointment. He's a failure.
No, he's just not good. Just not good. He's just not a good fighter, man. But he's good enough to beat Jake Paul, man. For real. If he beats a Chavez Jr., dude, that catapults him into. Imagine if he do that fight in Texas too or LA. That should be crazy. That should be crazy. And I think Tim Smith is this. I think they're intentionally destroying that fight to give these guys minimums and make them work hard for that pay-per-view dollar. I think Tim Smith just deflated a lot of fans. I think Bob Arum started the carousel and Tim Smith is picking up where Bob Arum left off.
What did Tim Smith say? Yeah, I was kind of like
he basically said he's not a pay-per-view star. He wasn't built. The economics ain't there for the fight, and basically we wish Terrence Crawford well. That pretty much sums up what he said, and he said it in a reporter's way.
So repeat that. I'm sorry. Repeat that. Yeah, I was kind of looking.
No worries. He said basically the economics of the fight just isn't there. Crawford wasn't built to be a pay-per-view star, and we're basically not interested. But I'm not in charge of the fight. That's basically what he said. So,
I mean, I don't understand how they wouldn't want to make that fight. That's one of the biggest fights of this generation.
It's a big fight. Man. It's a big fight. Sure, it's a big fight.
And they have no interest in it. They put all these bullshit fights on pay-per-view. They can't put that on pay-per-view.
Facts.
They can't even try to make that fight.
Facts. I don't. And they said, well, we can't pay what Crawford's gonna want. That makes no sense, dog. They lying, dog. They lying. Like I said, Bob and Al are working together.
Oh yeah, did you see Rolly?
Yeah, that's an important story. Hopefully it gets a lot of gas tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. How Steven Espinosa's Showtime. I'm gonna say Showtime, PBC, and TMT. They scumbags, man. They planted that shit on Rolly, dog. Oh man.
Rolly got to sue whoever she is for defamation of character.
It's not her. She ain't got no money. You sue her, what you gonna get? You gonna get a judgment? You ain't gonna get nothing.
You can't just let her just throw dirt on his name. That was the biggest fight of his career. That should have been him and Isaac Cruz's spot.
Man, he got. I feel bad. I don't feel bad for him, but he got shafted, man. They got him silly.
And then it was like in the comment earlier. I read something like Tank Davis, like he hit a woman on camera.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, he grabbed her. He choked her.
Yeah,
Tank Davis literally grabbed a woman from a basketball game and pushed her out, and he ran from a hit and run. You know, so he has some court dates coming up in March. It's. They played them, man. They played that kid, man. What's up, Champion Heart? So we on for Wednesday, right, Champion Heart? Oh, Rick Glazier is on Wednesday, so maybe we could do it Thursday, Wednesday, or maybe we could do a Rick Glazier on. He can critique your cooking. Champion Heart says, "Damn, I fell asleep. I missed the guess. I was gonna shoot my shot. Oh, she was wide open." Corey Lee, what's up, man? Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, Gary Russell fighting.
Yeah, Gary Russell, Atlantic City, January 22nd. Charles is pissed at that fight, but it's okay. He's fighting a tough guy. He's fighting like a 147 pound. He's fighting a guy that sparred Sean Porter. He's that big. So.
Oh wait, so it's next week.
The 22nd, yes.
Okay, yes, that's next week.
I think Joe Smith fights this week.
Yeah.
Against a fill-in. I'm actually excited to watch that card. Oh no, it's the NFL playoffs. So I'll be watching the NFL playoff. I'll be. It's on ESPN or ESPN Plus.
I think the playoffs come on like during the day.
Oh well, that'll be good.
Like early, like,
that'll be good. Okay. Well then I'll watch it. I'll watch it in the nighttime then.
Yeah, but Joe Smith, that's one of my favorite fighters to watch. I can't wait for him to fight this weekend.
Yeah, I like Joe Smith. I like Joe Smith.
Yeah.
All right, tell me. All right, wait. You could do it. You could tell me to play the song, man.
Play the song, Fred.
Appreciate you, dog. Don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We come on at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. We gonna get. Don't worry. In 2 months, we'll be back up again. Don't worry about it. Ain't nothing wrong with Ain't nothing wrong with rebuilding and rebranding. And I appreciate you guys coming in here, man. We're going to build this from the ground up no matter what. You know what I mean? Las Vegas Leon, Champion Heart. I got the email. Club 57. Appreciate you, man. Brother Cole, man. Hey, y'all, if you on the West Coast, you still get to go out, man. Have a good time. Batman show, Gary Russell Sport. I saw that. That was dope. Shout out to shout out to BFTB and Batman. That was pretty dope, Kevin Brower. Thank you, Mark Wonderlet. Appreciate you, big homie. Appreciate you. Corey Lee all the time, man. T Bonafide, appreciate you. Champion Heart. Even man. And don't forget Kyle's movie, man. DM Kyle or go to theboxingsection.com. Theboxingsection.com. Again, theboxingsection.com, Jerome King. And yeah, he did say that a couple years ago, Jerome, and that has some credence, you know what I mean? But Terrence Crawford's a free agent. Man, you better. It's only one fight left in that division until they give up the belts, man. Appreciate you, DJ. I appreciate you, DJ. Peoples Hernandez, appreciate you, big homie. Appreciate you, man. Thank you guys for coming in here, man. I know it's a little bit off center. Like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. We gonna get it. And Aida said thank you, guys. She sent me a DM and wanted to tell y'all thank you. Then be a blessing. It's my personal greatest, yeah. Bobbing and weaving and changing up like a season, indigenous to the grind. So I do it for all my people. I appreciate y'all, man, and hopefully Blue Blood made it back safe, man. Safe travels of Blue Blood. I'm not sure when he's leaving, but he's having a great time. He's on vacation, so safe travels to Blue Blood. And yeah, man, and hopefully everyone is starting off their new year great, man. And keeping your resolutions, your promises to yourself, and going back to school, starting a business. Pay your taxes, too. Everybody pay your taxes. You know what I mean? Yeah, Aida's bad, man. Yeah, she wants to thank us. Keep her IG lit. Hey, I want to get Mary McGee in here. I want to hear her story. Hey, the joy of boxing. Invest. You're right. Man, I love y'all. Don't forget 7:30. 7:30. A lot of y'all coming in at 9 o'clock. I thank y'all, though. But, yeah, 7:30. I know it's going to take some time to program us, but 7:30. And we got Rick Glazier Wednesday, and we got Kid Austin next week. So we got a pretty fun show. And my college roommate is coming in February 1st, dog. My college roommate is the track coach at North Texas. The Dallas campus. He's a track coach, and he has an album coming out. So he's gonna come into the shop, man. Y'all get to hear about Lil Freddie at 17 on a basketball scholarship, man. Lil Freddie, man. Hey, we gonna tell nobody. I ain't got nothing to hide, man. I had a great time. Love y'all, man. February 1st, my college roommate to be in here, man. Love y'all, man. Peace.